right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Polyglottal Stop. It is another interview day, and I have with me Nahuel. Welcome, Nahuel.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you for being here. We're so glad to have you. For our listeners, could you please tell us about yourself and start with your intro in your home language and then in English, please?
Ok. Bueno, mi nombre es Nahuel, soy de Argentina, del sur de Argentina, de la provincia de Neuquén. El nombre de mi ciudad es Zapala. Tenemos una población de unos 40.000 habitantes. Eh, Estamos en un lugar muy lindo, rodeado de montañas, con un clima bastante fresco todo el año. Y bueno, acá hay muchas cosas para hacer al aire libre, deportes sobre todo, salir a correr, hacer múltiples ejercicios, andar en bicicleta, eh, y tenés realmente lugares muy hermosos cercanos aquí, los cuales puedes conocer viajando quizás en media hora o 40 minutos, puedes conocer lugares muy lindos.
Ok,
Um,
gracias. Y en inglés, por favor.
okay, well, my name is Nahuel. I'm 35 years old. I'm from Argentina, from the south of Argentina. I'm from the Neuquén province, and the name of my city is Zapala. We have a population of maybe 40,000 people. We live in a really beautiful place surrounded by mountains, and also, if you like, you can do a lot of activities outside. Maybe go running or play football or any sport that you like. And also, you have a lot of beautiful places to know if you like to travel. Maybe in in a couple of minutes you can go to another place and visit maybe museums or forests. You have a lot of things to do in this place.
Very nice. Thank you so much. Uh, what so if anyone just for anyone who's not sure, what is your first language?
Okay, my first language is Spanish, which
Yes.
is
And that was what you were speaking at the beginning, right? You started your intro in Spanish and then you switched to English. Very good. And so what language or languages are you studying at the moment?
well, at the moment I'm studying English. Uh, Also, I've been studying English for maybe 7 years.
Mm,
Now I'm trying to take my advanced test, maybe this year or next year. I'm
mhm.
preparing that. Um, it's a really difficult language for me, but I'm doing my best.
Mhm.
So I'm trying. I'm trying to learn.
And you're doing really well. I mean, so far, I would say that you sound great. For anyone who doesn't know, well, no one would know. I met Noel on Tandem, and Tandem is a language exchange app for people who want to practice speaking the languages they are studying with native speakers of those languages. So, of course, I'm not promoting Tandem. I don't have any affiliation with them, but that is how we met. And we met in, I think, 2019. I went back, scrolled back in our messages to the very, very first one on WhatsApp. And of course, we spoke on Tandem before we switched over to WhatsApp. And I realized, wow, we have been talking since 2019. So that's very cool. And I have enjoyed sort of speaking with Nawel. Sometimes I practice my Spanish, but most of the time we're speaking English, I think, which is okay with me. So Nawel, do you still use Tandem?
No, I'm not using Tandem. No, not at the
No,
moment. No,
not at the
because
moment. Okay.
I don't have enough time.
Mm,
um, and it wasn't really interesting at the last time for me.
Mm.
I couldn't meet people to talk,
Yeah,
so that's
it's
why I'm not using that.
right. I understand. Sometimes I use it and I have really great conversations, and then it feels like there's a wave of not like no communication, and you don't really understand the other. I don't know, it's weird. It goes in waves, I think. Um so the thing about Tandem is that it allows you to speak to people in other countries. But of course, another way to do that is to go to other countries. So, Nawel, have you ever traveled to a country with a different official language?
Oh yes, a few years ago, I think that in 2017, I went to Europe. I went to England, so
Hmm.
it was a challenge for me.
Yeah.
I went to London thinking what I'm going to say when I get off the plane, and I was really concerned about that situation.
Right.
But I found that if I kept it simple, I could have a good communication.
Hmm.
So, for example, to ask to somebody about any address, direction, I
Hmm.
could do it without problems. The only problem was that the English accent is really closed, and it was difficult for
It's
me
very
to
different.
understand.
Hmm.
But I could do it really well, I think, or at least they understood me. So
That's the most important thing. If they understood you, you did well.
yes, so as I said, I found that if you keep it simple and you don't think too much about the words or mm, sophisticated words, what I'm going to say,
Hmm.
how I'm going to sound, you can communicate well. Uh, I went to London, then I took a train to Manchester.
Hmm.
Uh, After Manchester, I went to the Netherlands, and I had the same situation, and I knew people from another countries, from New Zealand, Australia, uh, also Brazil, and we could communicate really well. It was a surprise for me.
Oh, so you were in the Netherlands with
Yes,
people from other
yes,
countries.
yes, exactly.
Okay, okay. What would you say was the most challenging part of that travel, that trip in Europe for you?
The most challenging part was, I thought, I would say that it was the concern ho- about being understood.
Mm,
I was really afraid about the situation. I knew that it would be a big challenge,
mm-hmm,
but if I could communicate well with people uh, from England or the Netherlands, I knew that I would be safe. I would say.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So that was a big challenge, and also go to the airport, for example, check in, check out your passport to the official, and you have to talk. They ask you questions: where are you going? Why? So you must be clear about your answers in that moment.
mm-hmm.
And for me, it was all a challenge, but I think that I did it.
Nice, very good. And so I've never been to the Netherlands before. I know they speak Dutch, but do they also speak English everywhere?
Yes, they they
Ah.
they speak English as a second language.
Okay, so they have two. official languages, Dutch and English. Ah, I see. Okay, very nice. So right now, you said you are preparing for an exam, right? So, what language learning strategies do you like to use? How do you like to study or practice?
Like I have maybe three, four, or five strategies, different strategies. First one for me is the most important is to find a teacher
Hmm.
and maybe a private school of languages or a one-to-one teacher, a private teacher.
Hmm.
For me, it's really important because you can be corrected on your mistakes. You have another approach to the language. Another one would be another strategy would be to use books. If you like to read about, I don't know, science fiction or novels, something like that. If you like to read, you can start with that. Every day, maybe
Hmm.
one page, two pages, you choose.
Right.
But you are internalizing your the words and you are getting friendly with the language.
Hmm.
Another thing for me that is really important, for example, if I'm doing something, I'm cooking, I like to tune any English radio station from USA or England, and I just
Hmm.
hear, and it makes me feel more comfortable when I have to hear something. So another thing would be another good strategy or another good way would be, for example, in this case, to if you like to watch movies or a CD on Netflix, for example, you can use the subtitles in English in this case, or you can get off the or turn off the subtitles, and
Mm.
maybe
So,
you can hear sorry, and you can say that's what I heard. You think you turn on the subtitles, you check, and you go.
yeah, okay, that's really cool. So you mentioned two ways. One way is watching it without, so listening in English, watching it in English with no subtitles, and then going back and turning the subtitles on and off to check if you understood. That's really cool. And it's really practice. It takes longer, but I think by the end you have a better understanding of what you heard. But the first way that you said was watching it with English subtitles. But are you also listening in English?
Yes,
Okay, so watching it in English with English subtitles.
yes. In that way
Yeah,
you
I
can
like that
find
technique.
yes you can find new words, and actually maybe last year on YouTube you could use a kind of application app that allows you to put the subtitles to any movie or any song or something that doesn't have it.
Mm,
So you can use that app and you can write the subtitles. Now that app is not working anymore, but I
that's too
tried.
bad.
It was really wonderful for me. I tried and it was okay. I sent sorry the video to my teacher, and she told me that it was okay. The subtitles that I wrote was okay. So it gives you a lot of I don't know how to say a lot of experience, which I would say in the way that you write and that you hear.
So you listened in English and you wrote the subtitles in English?
Yes, yes, exactly.
Wow. That is very, I've never tried that before. I like that. Um, that strategy because it's like dictation in I have done dictation before, of course, and I taught ESL, and so I did that with my students. where I speak, they write, or they speak and their partner writes. But I had never attempted to um, write from a video. I had never attempted to do like subtitles or translations or anything like that. So I think I might try that actually. Thank you for sharing a new technique with me. Dictation with videos online or movies on shows on Netflix and things like that. That's really cool. Thank you. Um, so number one would be find a teacher. You said. So do you think that like learning in a class is better for you than sort of like a language app or something like that? Self learning.
Yes, I think that it would be, or it is critical to find a teacher. And you have the support of your teacher, your corrections, you get
Mm-hmm.
corrected. Um, you can find more vocabulary, and you have a real feedback from a real person
Yeah,
that is talking to
that's true.
you. And I don't have any problem with the apps. Are absolutely great. I use one of the BBC that is amazing. Gives you a lot of vocabulary and a lot of grammar, but you can't replace the feedback of a real person. So for
Yeah.
me, find a teacher is critical.
Mm-hmm. And so, can you tell us a little bit more about your language learning goals? What are you working towards? Is it just the exam? And if it is, please tell us more about the exam. But if you have other goals as well, please let us know.
Okay. Now, well, as I said, I'm studying to take the advanced the C1. I think that is the level this year or maybe next year. I would like to take this exam because it's a personal goal, and maybe in the future I could work with that degree, so I can find a job if I want it.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I would like to keep learning the language, or try to upgrade the level.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I would like to be an English translator. I would like to become an English
Oh,
translator.
cool.
So I'm looking for information about universities or things that I can maybe start studying in a few years or next year. Well, talking about the advanced exam is for me, I find it really it's difficult but not impossible. And you have
Mm-hmm.
the same always the same structure. You have the writing, the reading, the speaking, the listening. The listening
Mm-hmm.
is a little bit complicated, but if you focus on that and you set your heart in what you're doing, I think that nothing is impossible.
Very nice. I hope that you do. I wish you the best with your exam. I'm sure you'll do very well. Do you have goals to learn any other languages, or are you focusing only on English right now?
Right now, I'm focused on English, only in English, but maybe in the future, maybe in a couple of years after the advanced exam or maybe the
Mm-hmm.
translator and other
Mm-hmm.
things, I would like to learn French. Maybe I
French,
like the
okay.
sound. Um,
Yes.
I know that it is really difficult, that is hard, but I would like to try it. And Portuguese,
Mm.
it would be great.
I think I think you can. I think you could pick up French and Portuguese because so English is my first language. Spanish is the first foreign language I learned in school. Then I learned French many years later. And now I'm studying Portuguese by myself. I'm just doing some, self study and things like that, apps and things. I think Spanish, French, and Portuguese are very similar to each other because, for example, you have masculine and feminine nouns, and a lot of the vocabulary is similar, not the same, but similar. And so I think when you are ready to start studying French and Portuguese, I think that you might find that they are easier than English to learn. I think. But please let me know when you start. Let me know what it's like for you because I think it would be very interesting to know. Okay, yeah, very good. One last question for you. Uh, Official question. Can you please, it's a request, please teach us a phrase or idiom from your country?
Well, for example, there is a phrase that we use a lot here in Argentina that it would be no hay mal que por bien no venga. No hay mal que
One more
por bien
time.
no venga. No hay
No,
mal que por bien. No hay mal que por bien no
no
venga.
hay mal.
¿Qué?
Okay, can you type it in the chat?
Yes, absolutely. Let me
Yeah.
see where is the chat.
Listening is my weak point. Listening in other languages is my weak point.
Yes, it's okay. Let me see where is the chat. Let me find the chat.
So, do you see your face?
Yes.
And underneath your face, it should say chat.
Ah, your messages will appear here.
Yes. So at the bottom, it says type here to chat.
Ah, okay, okay.
Okay.
I'm watching. Okay.
Yes. No hay mal que por bien no venga. Okay.
And that would be
Can you
every
so
cloud.
say it again and what does it mean?
Yes, no hay mal que por bien no venga. Every cloud has a silver lining, would be.
Ah, I like that. But literally translated, what does that mean?
Literally, it would be like if something bad happens, uh, something good will come.
Hmm. So no hay mal, there is no bad without some good, sort of.
Yes, something like that.
Ah, okay,
Yes,
yeah.
that
So
is a kind of phrase of hope.
right, yeah. And so yeah, and you're very right to say that it's basically the English phrase every cloud has a silver lining. That's exactly right. Awesome. Thank you for teaching us something new today. I really appreciate you, and thank you for being here and sharing your time with us. Do you have any social media or anything that you would like people to follow you on?
I use Instagram. My Instagram is Nahuel Gale. How it's exactly how it sounds. Nahuel Nahuel. And my family name or last name would be Gale Gale.
Okay. And I will put the link to that in the show notes as well so that people can just tap on it and find you more easily. Um, yeah, thank you again for being with us today. I hope that you had a good time here. I had a great time talking with you and learning a little bit more about you.
Okay, it was a pleasure, and I hope I've been useful for you.
Absolutely. This is wonderful. All right. Thank you. Take care.
Thanks. Bye bye. See you.